You thought the Bengals were going to lose, didn't you? The Bengals pull out a crazy win, 27-24 in overtime. Welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Elise didn't realize the video was starting. It definitely did start. I'm James Rapien. She is Elise Jesse. Hit that subscribe button. Wow. I mean, wow. Where do we start? Here's where I'll start. Jake Browning, he's that dude. And you talk to his teammates, whether it's on record, off record. I don't want to say they're blown away by Jake Browning, but they certainly believe in Jake Browning. 324 yards, 29 of 42, 2 touchdowns. Leads them on 3 straight touchdown drives to end the fourth quarter. 24 points in the fourth quarter in overtime. The Bengals rally back after being down 14 in the fourth and score 3 touchdowns against the team that hadn't given up a touchdown since November 16th, I believe it was. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, T. Higgins scores that touchdown, the first touchdown of 2 on the day in the corner of the end zone. I mean, I was not expecting that to happen. And T playing really well towards the end of the game today. I know he had a couple of drops to start the game, but he certainly made that up with 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns, the second one of the game, was one that every player I talked to said that was one of the best catches they've ever seen live. And that's a lot coming from NFL players who play in this game a lot.
That was that Pilates yoga move that he was able to pull off. And I even asked him about it. Make sure you check out the T. Higgins video. I asked him because to move his body that way, you don't just do that.
No, it's not normal movements to make, is it? No, it's not. Like to contort your body that way, that's wild.
He saw all the haters, by the way. There were so many people, I'm sure he did. He had to have, that were critical of him. And he's struggled, right? He's had some drops, had a drop on the opening play of the game. Certainly should have caught it. Had another, it still looked like a catch, but maybe it wasn't a catch. I'd have to see it again. But the review on the 40-yarder before halftime, and yet T. Higgins responding to the adversity, 61 yards on 4 catches, 2 touchdowns, and all 4 catches came in the fourth quarter.
I'm shocked. First of all, I didn't think that this game was going to be as high scoring as it was. And I was not expecting overtime. I was not expecting a win in overtime. For the defense to have to make the kind of stop that they made in overtime today to give the offense another opportunity to go out and win this game, that was massive. And I know that there have been a lot of criticisms about the Bengals defense throughout the season, but the last 3 games, it seems to me like they have unlocked a new level. I mean, they're playing so much better these last 3 games than we've seen in a while.
They have. They've certainly played better. And today, from the jump, they lose DJ Reader. Right. Doesn't look like it looks very serious. And I would be surprised if we see DJ Reader play against Pittsburgh. I won't go farther than that, but even Zach Taylor kind of admitted it. Zach never talks about injuries post-game. It's almost silly to ask, even though we always ask. And so, yeah, thinking of DJ Ivey going down, I did see him in the locker room, and I talked to him briefly, just wishing him well, but it didn't look good for DJ Ivey either. He was on crutches. And then Jamar Chase. But this team responding the right way. We mentioned T. Higgins. Jamar Chase is out. T. Higgins steps up and is the alpha, as he described. Troy Walters came over to him and said he needed to be the alpha. But DJ Reader's out. This defense faces 3rd and inches, or 3rd and 1, 4th and inches in overtime, and they find a way to get the stop without their number 1 run stuffer, their giant nose tackle. They find a way. Tush push, yeah, it can be stopped.
The guy who is known for stopping the run, the guy who is a massive human being. If you've never seen him in person before, you are not shocked that he's the guy that they rely on to stop the run. For him to go out on just the second defensive play of the game for the Cincinnati Bengals, I think it says a lot about the coaching staff, the way they've constructed this team, the depth that they have, because they have a lot of key injuries to key positions, Joe Burrow being number 1, and to see Jake Browning kind of step into his own as well. I mean, it's insane how good this team can be going forward.
It is wild to think that they overcame those injuries. Obviously, Jake Browning wasn't playing well for most of the game. In camp, he was awful. I mentioned this today. No, he was. Like in practice, he was not good. Like we were talking about the backup quarterback competition with Burrow out, and it was ugly. But he might just be a gamer, like one of those guys that shows up when the lights are on and plays better. Because we've seen this now 3 games in a row. Yeah. Plus, if you look back at his preseason, and you don't have to do that, I did that. Like here against the Packers, he started 10 of 13, and then he kind of unraveled late. Played really well against the Falcons, or drove them downfield rather, to put them in position for that win, and they ended up tying. Like I think he's just one of those guys that plays better with the lights on. And let's discuss Jake Browning a little bit. From the throws to T. Higgins, the crazy rollout 44-yarder to Tyler Boyd, the fact that he's so entertaining. We posted the Jake Browning video, but he starts off by saying, "Man, I'm so tired. I think I need a beer." Well, I was dehydrated last week, so I probably shouldn't do that. So he corrects himself and beats me to the water joke. And then admits that it meant way more to him today. It meant a little more because this Vikings team cut him multiple times. And I tweeted out the clip, but you can just watch the entire Jake Browning video. This meant a ton to him, and for him to be that upfront with us about it and that honest, I think he's got whatever it is to lead a team. T. Higgins said that he is a QB1, that he is a legitimate QB1, and I get why they're believing and why they see it.
I mean, I see why some players might have been frustrated in training camp because we are seeing a completely different player than we were seeing in training camp back in July. He is totally different. And I've got to say, on the field, he is exceeding expectations. I think you're right. He does show up when the lights come on, and I really don't mind that. I don't think the coaching staff minds this either. And honestly, as far as press conferences go, he is one of the most refreshing quarterbacks that I've heard speak in this building in a long time. He is so entertaining on the field with the lights on and in the press conference room. And
I still don't know if he's trying to. I think it's just effortless. Yeah. And you take it. I'm surprised, ladies and gentlemen. I really didn't think they were going to win this game. When it was 17-3, I just thought, all right, they're going to be 7-7 going into Pittsburgh. They're going to have to win out if they want to be in the playoffs. Like, I was already thinking all of those things. And they answer. They're resilient. And Zach Taylor on down. I mean, I think they all deserve credit right now. This Bengals team is 8-6. They're in a really good spot. We'll see what happens with the other games, and we'll have you covered right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Anything else before we get out of here?
I just think it says a lot about this team. They're super gritty. They're grittier than I thought they were. I know everybody was kind of counting them out when Joe Burrow went down, and I think that they are enjoying proving everyone wrong, which they tend to like to do. They like to be in the position to have to prove people wrong because they know that they can overcome whatever it is.
And they're going to be in that position moving forward. We'll have updates on DJ Reader, Jamar Chase, obviously DJ Ivey, any other injuries when they're made available. So for Elise Jesse, I'm James Rapien, our channel coordinator, Andrew Fox Miller. Check out all of our videos post-game because the Bengals, it's going to be a victory Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy the victory Sunday. We'll have plenty of videos right here for you on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Until then, thank you so much for watching as the Bengals handle business against the Vikings 27-24.